How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Bitcoin is falling down once again at the market open, but the last few days we have seen big pushes in Bitcoin. Lots of volatility, right? Bitcoin going up to about 107,000 for the last 2 days in a row after falling down all the way to 102. If we get another push like that from here, if we get another $5,000 candle, we're at all-time highs. We have relentless buying as well coming from BlackRock and Fidelity. We have some interesting things happening throughout the market too, with the Senate voting yes on moving forward the Genius Act, which is actually a big step in the right direction for crypto. I want to go through that. What are some of the benefits of that? Because it seems like everyone was talking about that last night. And we'll take a look at some other things that are happening in the market. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. If you want to trade crypto, there's a link underneath the video to Weeks. You can start trading in just a few minutes because they don't KYC and you don't need a VPN. You can get started. And when you use my link, you get access to this pretty sweet sign up bonus. The first 100 users get 100 USDT futures bonus. And the more you trade, the more you get for free. So definitely check that out underneath the video. There are also some links like to BTCC and BitUnix. They have bonuses going as well, 10 to 20% bonuses at the time of this recording. Now, like I said, Bitcoin falling down a little bit today. We were at 107 just last night, and now we're falling down to 104. Keep in mind, the traditional markets are a bit weak too. The S&P 500 is opening lower, but it's risen 6 sessions in a row and 17 of the past 20 sessions. So you zoom out, Bitcoin looks really good, right? We're chopping around now. People keep on saying, well, why doesn't Bitcoin's price go up if we're seeing all this buying happening? Why isn't Bitcoin moving? It is. I mean, just zoom out. Early April, we were at $75,000. Now we're pushing up near all-time highs. We're falling down today, and we're still up $30,000 from where we were a month and a half ago. So anyone that's saying we're not moving up isn't paying attention, right? There can be buys short term that, there can be a significant amount of buying and the price doesn't go up because people are selling and they're willing to sell at a bit of a discount. They're seeing the price go down to 104 and they're like, I should get out. Then it goes to 103.5 and they're still willing to sell at that price, right? The sellers are overwhelming the buyers a bit. So with that in mind, it's still looking really bullish. Yesterday we covered in the video last night, Diamond is going to allow clients to buy Bitcoin, but they won't custody it. This is a big step from saying that they're going to fire any JPM employee who trades it. Okay, they will custody it at some point, or some entity within their business will custody it, or they'll have some deal with some other outside entity to get a kickback. They will custody Bitcoin in some shape or form in the next couple of years. The Senate voted yes on moving forward the Genius Act in an epic bipartisan showing, 66 to 32, so overwhelming support. This is important. This will allow better regulation on stablecoins. This will allow more people to use stablecoins. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, one, it shows that there's overwhelming support to use stablecoins, right? Like they want a framework for stablecoins, and we've seen this all across politics that they want stablecoin usage, and there are a couple of reasons for that. One, these could be some of the biggest buyers of treasuries, and we need treasury buyers. Two, stablecoins continue to get widely adopted, whether they're regulated or not, or regulated well. So it would be better to regulate them to give some consumer protections, make sure that they're on the up and up, and this is really good for consumers too. If you're someone that wants to go to a business and you don't want to use cash, a lot of the time they might have a 3 or 4% upcharge for using a credit card. There are a lot of fees that go into using credit cards, whether it's the banks or whether it's the credit card companies like Visa or MasterCard. Usually most of the money actually goes to the banks, but there are a lot of moving parts. There are also different ways to transfer money across borders that are much higher fee than that, still much higher than 3 or 4%. If you can use stablecoins, it's settled automatically. And I think there will still be people that try to grab a hold of that transaction and get a low percentage off of it. I'm sure they're not going to willingly give that up, but the fees can be much lower over time. It also helps crypto because it gets people more comfortable with using crypto knowing what crypto is, right? It also allows the blockchains that have the most stablecoin value to push some of that value to their token. Like if Solana has very quick transaction time and a lot of people are using it, it will cause Solana's price to go up. And it will support the high capacity scale, or it will support tokens that have a lot of scale that are very quick, that are very cheap. So the best cryptos will win. Now that still has to go through, I think it's the House. Yeah, so the Senate was probably the hardest thing to pass through, but still has to go through the House, and it will take a little bit of time. We're seeing a lot of purchasing happening from the Bitcoin ETFs, 667 million yesterday. So that definitely can cause some buying pressure. Throughout the day yesterday, we saw Bitcoin's price go up pretty significantly. It went from 102 to 107. 667 million bought by the ETFs. We saw about that amount bought by Saylor over last week. We saw Metaplanet buy $100 million worth as well. There's a lot of buying pressure. The ETFs alone have had, I don't even know how many positive days over like the last 25 days. I think all but 2 or 3 have been positive over the last 20 days. BlackRock is on like 23 days in a row of positive inflows. They bought 2,908 Bitcoin yesterday. Fidelity bought $188 million worth, which is what, 170, 1,700 Bitcoin, something like that. 1,750 Bitcoin. So another 4,500 Bitcoin taken off the markets just by these two companies. Yeah, this is insane buying pressure. And again, people will say, why isn't the price going up? Again, short term, price can be held down by entities that want to sell. If someone goes out and says, I want to push the button and sell 2,000 Bitcoin right now, it's going to force down the price. But it's getting bought up by long-term holders, whether it's MicroStrategy, Metaplanet, IBIT, BlackRock, BlackRock's ETF, Fidelity with FBTC. Like the ETFs flow out a little bit more than something like MicroStrategy, obviously, that has never sold. But still, they have been long-term accumulators. There have been times where they've shed some Bitcoin, but largely they've just been accumulating, especially if you just smooth this out. They've been swallowing up a lot of Bitcoin. They're at a record high for Bitcoin as well. These just continue to buy. And obviously, they're like fund managers and the CEO, Larry Fink, they're pushing these ETFs, right? When you just list an ETF and you never talk about it, it doesn't get inflows like this. No, this is them pushing it to people or suggesting it to people. Bitcoin dominance going up a little bit. This week, you can see 2 weeks ago, we saw a dump from 65.4 to 62.6. So 3% move or so. Now we're back in the middle of that range, pushing a little bit higher. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen in the next few hours, the next few days, even the next few weeks. It's impossible to know. But over the next few months and even more over the next few years, we know where Bitcoin's going. We know that it's the most scarce asset in the world that continues to get more adopted, continues to get better regulation, continues to be looked more favorably on by politicians, by governments, by federal agencies, by the Fed, and by companies. It continues to get bought up with fiat dollars that are melting away. You can continue to get more and more debt to buy more and more Bitcoin and have cash flows purchase Bitcoin as well. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. If you're feeling bullish right now, you can check out the links underneath the video to start leverage trading. You can do this in a way that is safer than what most people think about. Like most people think, oh, you just need to go like 50 or 100x or something like that. And then, you make tons of money. Well, what about 5x, right? Like I've been able to go 5x, 3x, 7x and make really good returns. So instead of being up 90% on this long position, I'm up 630%. And you can always add more margin too if you need to. So if you want to check out the links, there are links underneath the video. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next video. Stay safe out there.